Are you looking for the best smartwatches? In this video we will look at some of the 5 best smartwatches on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Apple Watch Series 9. For fans of the Apple ecosystem, there is no better smartwatch than the Apple Watch Series 9. Interestingly, it did not earn top marks in any of our individual testing metrics. In fact, it ranks 5th out of the 10 models we tested in our health and battery life metrics. What the Series 9 offers is exceptional performance overall, especially considering its price point relative to other high-end watches in our lineup. For Apple and iPhone users, high scores across the board translates to seamless integration into your daily routine. As our lead tester, Sentry Kelly, puts it, Apple standardizes their experience so well. The Watch app, on the Series 9, looks just like the interface you experience on your iPhone, and it makes for super intuitive use. All 3 of the Apple Watches utilize Apple's industry-leading native apps, making them functionally comparable to each other. The Series 9 has excellent call quality, with one tester noting that it is basically as good as the iPhone itself. Scribbling texts on the 1.77 square-inch screen is easy, though we typically prefer to use the efficient voice-to-text function. Don't be thrown off by the relative position of the Series 9 in our health metric. If you examine the score closely, you'll see that the differences among our top contenders are fractions of a point. We assessed the accuracy of the GPS on each watch in 2 separate tests, and in each instance, this watch proved itself 100% accurate. Thanks to a super bright, 1260 lux backlit display and minimal glare from an ION-X glass screen, the Series 9 is one of the best options we tested for GPS navigation. Number 2. Samsung Galaxy Watch 6. We recognize that many of our awards focus on Apple Watches, which is just a reality of the market share among smartwatch users, at least in the United States. But that doesn't mean that there aren't fantastic options for Android users, among which the Samsung Galaxy Watch 6 stands out. Similarly to the award-winning Apple Watch Series 9, the Watch 6 doesn't shine in any particular metric. It falls short to the Garmin Venu 3 and Google Pixel Watch 2 in our health metric, and ranks 6th out of 10 models tested for battery life. But our side-by-side testing proves its overall value, one that might even make some Apple users jealous. In our tests comparing the smart function of these watches, our lead tester noted that the Watch 6 might have the most clearly laid out and all-encompassing native app of the entire lineup. Android users will feel at home with the intuitive interface of the Watch 6, which includes familiar icons used by other Galaxy and Google devices. Call quality is a notch above the rival Pixel Watch 2. It is very loud and fairly clear, with just a slight muffled sound, one tester remarked, also noting that it didn't exhibit any of the static we noticed from the speaker of the Pixel Watch 2. The 1.77 square-inch display on the Watch 6 is 47% larger than the face of the Pixel Watch, which also makes scribbling or typing texts much easier. Our testers all agree that the haptic bezel is more finicky than a physical, rotating bezel, though this issue can be remedied by upgrading to the Watch 6 Classic. All considered, the Watch 6 is still the top Android option for communication, especially if you want to use your new smartwatch to conduct business. Number 3. Apple Watch SE. The Apple Watch SE presents an extraordinary value among all of the smartwatches in our lineup, particularly so when you compare it side by side with the premium Apple Watches we tested. Its iOS interface runs the same native apps, Apple Watch, Health, and Fitness, as the Series 9 and Ultra 2, which means that all 3 watches are functionally equivalent, as far as apps go. The value of the SE becomes even more apparent when you look closely at our 2 most important test metrics, Smart Function and Health, which comprise 70% of a product's overall score. In these tests, the SE actually scores a fraction, 0.2 points, higher than the Editor's Choice Award-winning Series 9, and only 0.1 point behind the top-end Ultra 2. These results are razor-thin, yet it highlights the fact that the more affordable SE easily hangs with its more expensive siblings in the most meaningful ways. Even though they feature the same screen, an OLED display covered by ION-X glass, The 1.51 square-inch screen on the SE is 17% smaller than the Series 9. The only reason I scored these watches differently is because having a larger screen makes texting and scribbling on the watch keyboard slightly easier, Sentry, our lead tester, noted. While this gives the Series 9 a slight advantage in our smart function tests, the sensors on the SE proved to be a touch more accurate in our fitness tests. The GPS tracking on the SE isn't quite as accurate, which is why we prefer the Series 9 for navigation. However, in our step counter test, the SE proved to be 98.98% accurate compared to the 96.84% accuracy of the Series 9. It may seem like we're splitting hairs here, and we are. The point of this direct comparison is that the SE performs as well as, or better than, the Series 9, yet it lists for 2/3 of the price. That's the definition of exceptional value in our book. Number 4. Amazfit BIP 5. If you are seeking an extremely budget-friendly entry into the world of smartwatches, then the Amazfit BIP 5 is a compelling choice. It offers intuitive proprietary apps and third-party apps to extend basic functions and add personalization. This model handles phone calls well, although texting is limited to automated responses. It is also a capable health monitoring and fitness tracking device, even though our testers did have issues with the GPS establishing connections, as well as GPS accuracy. The app might not deliver the same mature experience or expansive ecosystem you find with Apple Store or Google Play Store offerings. That being said, you'll find most of your app needs met, and a premium app option offers greater features and functions. Its large display and battery life also can't outshine or outlast the highest-end watches we tested, but you'll be hard-pressed to find a better performing or more capable smartwatch at the price point. If your budget allows it, you can get better all-around performance from the Apple Watch SE Gen 2 or the Samsung Galaxy Watch 6. Number 5. Apple Watch Ultra 2. The Apple Watch Ultra 2 is the premier option in the Apple Watch line, and our comparison tests prove that it is truly an exceptional smartwatch. Even though it runs the same native apps as the iOS-powered Series 9 and SE, a few premium upgrades essentially supercharge the Ultra 2. Its huge, 1.83 square-inch display is 4% larger than the rival Series 9, and our luminosity tests prove that it is 114% brighter. This not only offers uncommon clarity, even in direct sunlight, but the slightly larger screen gives the Ultra 2 a notable edge when scribbling texts or typing on its full-sized, albeit tiny, keyboard. Even though our charging test proves the Series 9 charges 20% faster than the Ultra 2, the enormous 564 mAh battery on the Ultra 2 offers an additional 54 hours of estimated battery life, without GPS enabled. The Ultra 2 is the only Apple Watch in our lineup that has been tested to a MILSTD 810H standard. Combined with its 3-microphone array and wind noise mitigation, call quality is so excellent with this watch that you could theoretically take calls while climbing a mountain at 15,000 feet. It is also rated for recreational scuba diving, EN 13319, and thus includes a depth gauge up to 40 meters, 130 feet. The dual-frequency GPS is also remarkably accurate. It is one of very few watches to earn perfect scores in our 3 GPS tests.